Hello, everyone, and welcome to twitch.tv/The Onyx Path. Or if you're watching on BackerKit, welcome as well. My name is Travis. My pronouns are he and they, and I will be the story guide for tonight's adventure. This is Trinity Continuum Time and Space, a actual play that's going to be featuring some of the things that you will find in the Trinity Continuum Player's Guide, which is currently crowdfunding over on BackerKit. We're testing out a couple things right now, so you should be able to, if you go to the BackerKit page, you should be able to watch this stream live there. And for new backers, it should give us a notification when you back. So if you're on the fence, there's no time like the present to hop on. And if you back during the stream, there should be a little prompt for you to enter, and you can put complication or momentum, and I will give the appropriate thing to the party, provided that the tools all work. If you don't see me responding to it directly, you can also post in the chat, hey, I just backed, and I would like to give complications or momentum. So it's your opportunity to get directly involved with the game. Should be a lot of fun. In case you missed it, the link to the backer kit is right here. Throwing that in the chat for you. And let's without further ado, let's get rocking and rolling. So first off, I'd like to have everybody introduce themselves. Tell us who you are, what you do, who you're playing, your pronouns, their pronouns, anything you'd like to promote. And also, if you would, the first stream that they appeared in, since we're playing people from various points along the Trinity Continuum. So let's start this off with James. Please give us your pertinent details.
Well, as Travis just said, I am James. I will be playing Joel Wolf, who first appeared in the Bad News Playground. I can't remember the whole name of the stream because my memory is bad.
Interview with the Aberrant. That's all right.
Thank you. Interview with the Aberrant. Their pronouns as well as mine are they, them. And I will go ahead and pass it to Chaz.
Excellent.
Well, so hello, I am Chaz, and I am playing the most dark matter. This is my last name. Has been a wow. Don't need the last name. Dark matter is really what matters. First played them when we were doing the Aberrant game. I don't remember the name of the stream.
It was the Aberrant Story Pass Showcase.
Okay, yeah. Lucko was there. We got into all sorts of heroic things. Nothing bad happened at all. I mean, it's just a great story of triumph of good over evil.
Yes. Nothing went sideways in the slightest.
Yeah, no buildings exploded. No.
Didn't almost kill any of your allies.
Yeah, that definitely didn't happen.
Exactly. And I guess that leaves, last but not least, Lecco, please, your pertinence.
I'm Lecco Rodriguez, personal trainer, weight loss coach. I can be reached for a free consultation on the website at teamlecco.com or on Twitter at teamlecco, TEAMLECO, and we can customize a strategy or training plan in line with your preferences and budget and survival in case of like societal collapse or something like that. I will be playing Fabian, the Ferret Ortega, gentleman thief and singularity of the pencil mustache, he, him, both of us. Now bearer of the killing and healing vision gems, which must be forcibly inserted into a voluntarily vacant eye socket. First and last scene in Trinity Adventure aboard the floating city of a definitely not Lando Calrissian v Nazi fight. It's pretty awesome. And Fabian's been, modifying his approach and eye patching ever since.
Nice. I love it. So as it mentions in the title, this is both session 0 and session 1. So before we dive too far into things, I believe I let you all know before we got online, but just to reiterate, you all have 20 experience points plus whatever you had unspent at the end of your last appearance on the channel, to feel free and increase your character. You raise paths. If you wanted to pick up some of the new gifts that are listed in the player's guide, those of you who would be able to take them, sorry, dark matter, you would be able to pick those up. And I also want to take the opportunity to go over some safety tool discussions. So usually what we use on the channel are yes goes for things that we want to see, no goes for things that we don't want to see. So I'll start off with mine. My yes goes for this session are going to be like Saturday morning cartoon levels of action. Sound fair?
Yeah.
And my no-goes, my no-goes are always essay. Never needs to be on game ever. And also, generally speaking, I know this group has harm to domesticated animals or children as no-goes. So those elements will not be showing up in the stream.
Shout out to our boys.
Exactly. Leko, any additional yes goes or no goes for you?
Other than no picking on the puppers, I have yes goes for sure. So in every like good mega crossover event, I feel like there has to be some sort of villain collaboration as well that I need. I don't care whose, but it needs to be happening. So if you didn't write it, you need to come up with it now. I'm sorry.
Excellent. Villain collaboration done.
Cross dimensional.
Done.
I think is that it? Yeah, that's it.
Excellent. Chaz, any additional yes goes or no goes?
I do have a yes go for Dark Matter. I would like him to have the opportunity to relive his past mistakes and possibly overcome his need to explode a factory. Keyword being possibly.
Excellent. So opportunity to repair a past mistake, a specific past mistake.
Right. And like if he has grown, then we will see the character growth. And if he has not grown, we'll see the growth of power with a bigger explosion. Like one of the two. Some sort of growth.
I'll just do it again.
Well, as there are in fact time travel shenanigans, that is probably probable. Excellent. Any additional no goes, or have we got?
No, you got mine.
Excellent. Rock and roll. James, any yes goes or no goes for you?
You pretty much got my no-goes. The only yes go is I would like to, even if it's just in the background in the coffee shop that we're in or whatever, I would like to maybe see or hear the actual interview that we recorded and the segment that we put together.
Excellent.
Maybe even some shenanigans going on in the exclusion zone there.
Excellent.
Because I have friends there.
Can do. Beautiful. I love this list. I am a fan of this list, and I think these are all absolutely workable. So now that we've got our safety tools out of the way, we need to dig into aspirations. What are the current short-term aspirations for the ferret?
I have nothing planned. Oh my goodness. I hadn't even thought about that. All of these have been taken care of. So like he's fulfilled right now, right? So I need to like pick a whole new.
Yes. Do you need a moment to consider, to weigh that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Also,
How about
about the player's guide?
yes?
Where is that? In case I want to
I
peek in there.
believe I sent you the manuscript on email.
You probably did. I'm gonna check.
So check your email. Chaz, any what are your current aspirations?
So convince someone Team Yesterday exists. I still like that as an aspiration.
All right.
I had use team attack. I want to specify use team attack with Death Eye Laser.
Okay. Fair enough. I'll allow it.
And the longer one, become stronger to protect non-novas. We gotta adjust that.
Okay. Do you have a new one in mind, or do you
Uh,
need a minute?
get a quick minute.
All right. Take a quick minute. James, your aspirations currently.
Currently, I have two. I have a long-term aspiration in the form of, well, I made a very unlikely friend in the exclusion zone, and I would like to see them get out. So I want to try and get Cherry out of the exclusion zone.
Excellent. Excellent.
And then the only other one I have is it'll probably be easy to do, but it's write a new segment on the time-space shenanigans that are going on, even if no one believes it.
Wonderful. And so that's one long term and one short term, correct?
Yeah.
You'll need one
So I
more
still
short
need another
term.
short. Mhm.
And while you're cooking on that, Lecco, have you come up with any of your aspirations?
All right. All right. So I have dive through a portal as one.
All right.
Um, and I guess for another short term would be to, damn, I'll come up with something else. That's all I got so far.
All right. So you got dive through a portal. Chaz, did you get your last one for Dark
I
Matter?
do. It feels more short term right now, so I'm trying to make it longer. I either want to like protect many or have a protect many or destroy many incident, with many being like, on a scale of thousands.
Okay.
So maybe just like be part of a incident that either protects multiple cities or destroys multiple cities, whichever way the fates blow.
So some major, impactful, big.
Right, like it's on we talk about it years later in the history books. Can you believe these people? Or thankfully these people were here.
I love it.
It could be both.
Yeah.
It could be both, depending on the perspective. I love it. It's I'm a fan of it. It's beautiful. James, did you get your last one?
Yeah, since we want some combat, some Saturday morning combat, comic book violence, and Joel is not especially violent themselves. He wants to assist someone in combat somehow because he remembers how useless he was in the zone.
Excellent. So aid somebody in combat. Beautiful. I love it. And how about for the ferret?
Yeah. So I have drive a future vehicle.
Okay.
And long term, live in a different era.
Okay. Excellent. We have our aspirations together. Do you have any experience expenditures to report? Anything that you had questions about with the XP? Did you want to bank it and see where we go and spend it after the session? What was your thoughts there?
So I was going to, I had a plan, but I forgot that we could use the player's guide. So let me actually see what I had asked for. I will still pick up, so I will purchase 3 gifts.
Excellent.
So I'll pick up Telluric Bolt, Fast Healer, and Regeneration.
Wonderful.
And I'll also pick up so the only thing I'm not going to pick up is the destructive facet. So I'd also like to pick up Sign of Humanity for Dex and Stamina.
Okay.
And then I'll save the 10 for whatever for some other player's guide, I guess.
Excellent. Chaz, any expenditures for Dark Matter?
I don't remember if Dark Matter had any extra XP, so I'm just going to stick with the 20. And I'm likely just going to either make my density quantum power or my quantum attack quantum power a 5, because that's like 16 XP.
All right. Double check your quantum minimum for those powers, because I think one of those might be dots. You might have to have a quantum high enough.
I have 5 quantum.
Oh, excellent. All right.
So like, yeah.
Then never mind. Pretend I said nothing. It explains why I don't have any XP.
Yeah.
But you're still on the fence as to which one you're going to raise?
Yeah, which one? I'm just like looking at them right now. It's like which one can be more helpful.
All right. Any expenditures for Joel?
I went ahead and spent 6 to finish out my photographic memory edge. So I have 3 dots in that because I, as a player, have shit memory. So it helps if my character has an excuse to say, "Hey, DM, I don't remember this as a person, and I didn't put it in my notes."
That's fair.
And then the only other thing I picked up was some points in athletics so that I can not be a scrawny little weakling.
Nice. I like it, and I'm a fan of it. So, if you don't mind, we'll go ahead and get the ball rolling. There's currently 4 momentum in the group momentum pool. There is a rule that is introduced in the Trinity Continuum Player's Guide that I would like to employ here because I think it will help keep the action up, and it will also help contend with us having a mixed group. We have effectively Joel is a talent, Dark Matter is a Nova, and Fabian the Ferret Ortega is a stalwart. So, in order to sort of level a bit of the playing field, the alternate rule we're going to use is that you can perform dramatic editing by spending momentum or inspiration to activate it.
Oh, cool.
However, when that rule is in effect, the other rule is using your skill tricks requires inspiration rather than momentum, or in the case of a Nova, a quantum point.
Right.
Make sense?
Makes sense.
I don't have any skill tricks.
You should have at least one.
But I don't. I'll
Well,
get one. I just don't.
yeah,
I just
go-
realized I don't.
Go
there's
find
big
one.
blanks. I will. There's big blank space there.
Totally fine. It happens. So, if you don't mind, I would like to start, unless anyone has any other questions before we dive into the actual play here. I would like to start focused in the year of 2028 with Dark Matter. When last we met, you and your associates had completed more or less the assignment that Sophia Rousseau had given you. You were established in a safe house, I believe in, was it Atlantic City, New
I
Jersey?
think so, yeah.
And kind of told to cool your heels, go about your business normally and wait for any further assignments. About a week or so after you had a chance to kind of acclimate to the new place and adjust, your team is sent to Minnesota. There's a company there called Wonder Corp that has been pushing to basically get some state laws passed that would restrict the ability of cities to hire municipal defenders. So prevent Novas from being city employees in law enforcement.
Right.
The Novas would still be able to help people under Good Samaritan laws, but they would no longer be able to legally work for a municipal government. This company has been a big public lobbyist of this, and they have a series of battle suits that they're proposing to outfit law enforcement with in lieu of using municipal defenders. You and your team have been sent to investigate this Wonder Corp, see what you can find about them, and find out if they're on the up and up or if there's someone secretly pulling the strings, if there's an agenda, what that agenda is, and if you can, get a hold of the specs for the tech for the battle suits, because there's some mystery as to how those function. So, in going about that, as there's a need to sort of infiltrate the company, how might Dark Matter try to involve in that part of the of the assignment, or would dark matter say, that's not my jam, and hang back?
If I remember correctly, everyone else was smarter than dark matter. So he takes the role of just like y'all let me know what I could help. Like if I have to get you coffee, like I'm on it. Like I am here to support you in your plans. Or if you need like a guinea pig to like walk in and just like talk to people, like he was a fun loving kind of guy. Also, yeah, I'll do that. I'll just go like just talk to like somebody in the front office or like, hi, how you doing?
One of your associates comes up with the bright plan to have you go in and get a job. See if you can get a job like in the janitorial staff, something that we'd have a lot of access to places, but not a lot of like responsibility or visibility. And you're able to do so relatively easily. You can get whatever kind of false identification documentation you need. You can get through the use of your path. Did you have a
Quick
question?
question. So I have anima aura. Is that like a constant thing, or is it just like whenever I get pissed, it looks like space around me?
I believe that's whenever you use your powers.
Okay.
Do you have dormancy?
Do not know.
Okay. So yeah, I believe that usually kicks off when you just when you use your powers. But how high is your transcendence?
How high? I don't think I must have forgot to put it in because I don't have any dots there.
No, that's fine. I think you just bought those. Because I remember you bought your transformations to get cheaper powers.
Yeah.
So in that case, yeah, it definitely only kicks off when you use your power.
Gotcha.
So as long as you don't actively use a power, you should be in good shape.
Oh, nice. All right.
So after a couple of days of going to this job, you manage to get yourself. You notice pretty much right away that there's kind of a dedicated team that handles the laboratory cleanup.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of where all the action is, where the area you need to be in. How would you like to try to gain access to that? Would you like to try to get transferred to that group? Would you like to try to just, once you're inside, sneak into the labs?
My first thought is just to like try to get transferred to the group. Like I say, super charismatic. So like, yeah, I can do this. Like just wanting to do, how do I get into this group? How do I become who you are?
Excellent. In that case, why don't you go ahead and give me a, what would we say here? Persuasion. Does that sound about right?
Yeah. Persuasion, presence, maybe?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. And are you relying on any mega attributes while you're doing this?
No.
Excellent.
Yeah, okay, so that would be 6. And the number I'm trying to hit is 7.
Yeah.
Well, that's 1 success.
Excellent. After kind of asking around and you make fast friends with a lot of the people in the janitorial department.
Mm-hmm.
After about 2 days of asking around and kind of hinting that you'd like a transfer over to this group, one of the supervisors, a guy named Rex, comes over and what name are you going by while you're there?
Jim.
All right.
Jim Christmas. I don't know why.
All right, Mr. Christmas. It's your lucky day. I just got the clearance to transfer you over to laboratory maintenance. Why don't you come with me and I'll show you where we're headed and what you'll be working on.
Thank you, Mr. Rex.
No problem. He takes you in a lift. You go in and there's like a retinal scan and a handprint, and he has to provide both. And you start going down into the subterranean laboratories. Feels like you're on the lift for 10, 15 minutes.
Jeez.
Eventually, the doors open.
Mm-hmm.
And you see what looks like a very large, almost like airplane hangar, filled with various different screens and computers and server stacks and odd devices scattered kind of haphazardly throughout the space. And you also see several of these suits lined up against the walls. Rex starts leading you through and says, we're going to start in the lead scientist's office and work our way out.
And like, yeah, I'll follow along, trying to like pay as much attention to what's going on, which I'm hoping is, I'm like in this brand new place, just like looking around, like, oh wow.
Excellent. Go ahead and give me a integrity, and pair that with kind of whatever you would lean on for just noticing or picking up, whatever you'd pair with for your vibe check.
Vibe. I would like to go present, but I think cunning makes more sense here.
Excellent.
110.
Wonderful. You notice kind of as you're moving through, you're fairly certain one of the suits sort of like lit up a bit as you walked past it, like the heads-up display. There's no one in it, but it looks like the visor display maybe lit up as you were approaching.
Can we avoid like as far from the suits as we can, just in case there's some sort of, I see magic in this one.
Absolutely. And tell me, do you have any mega edges related to hearing by chance?
Mm-mm.
Excellent. He takes you back into a chamber. Again, puts in the retinal scan and the handprint. And the door is open. And the room looks largely empty. There doesn't seem to be any furnishing inside of it.
All right.
There's a couple of different almost boxes sort of attached to the wall, but there doesn't appear to be any furnishing. Would you like to make a technology roll, maybe, perhaps?
You know what? Yeah, let's give it a shot. What could go wrong? My technology is 0.
All right, so just go with a straight intellect. And,
intellect, yeah.
You're going to have a complication of 2 because this is higher tier technology.
I got a 10 and an 8.
Excellent. You reroll your 10.
Let's see what we got. 8. Holy hell.
All right, so 3 successes. It looks to you like this is some sort of like advanced particle manipulation technology built into these walls.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, start in here. This needs to be a completely clean room, so we need to make sure we get any dust, detritus, anything out.
Can do.
You step into the room.
Yeah.
The door slams shut behind you. And you start to hear the machines start to whir and make noise.
Shit. Is there any windows in this door?
There seems to be there's almost like a little like box that's
Yep.
just enough to kind of see through, not enough to.
Is he like staring back at me, like wondering what I'm gonna do?
No, he seems like you see him like walking away, hands in his pockets.
God, okay. Yeah, we're going to clean until I feel the need to blow something up.
All right, so you just start getting your supplies out and getting ready to clean. As you take out like the dust rag and touch the first wall, you feel energy start to shoot out of the box toward you.
Okay, yeah.
Seems that the entire room, these boxes are starting to like emanate a bizarre, painful energy.
When I left my friends, did we have any way of me to communicate if I were to go into an secret level?
You're wearing earwigs, so you have your standard communicators.
So then I will be, hey, just so you know, I've found the laboratory, and I'll tell them, well, I think, they may be receptive to novas. Also, either I might die or the laboratory might die. And then I'm just going to go and try to figure out what I can from this room with whatever time I have left.
All right. Why don't you give me a stamina and composure roll, please?
I have no All right. That is stamina and composure, you said?
Yep. And do you have any mega attributes in either of those?
No.
Excellent.
Nine and eight, 2 successes.
Excellent. As soon as you kill the communication, like at the very end, you hear the communication start to get like fuzzy, and then energy sort of shoots out from every direction. It doesn't deal you any damage yet, but it is now increasingly clear that this is painful. And you can start to, as you're looking around, you start to realize that this looks like it might be a deliberate sort of a trap, basically.
Right. Always have an exit plan. Okay, then at this point, I would like to pop some gravity magic into one or all of the boxes because, like, if it is a trap, there's no like sneaking out at this point. So we do what we do best.
Excellent.
Let's break some shit.
So are you going to activate the singularity on the end of your wrist there?
Yeah. We're not going to go full like 27 Nova points just yet, but like
Right.
just like disrupt some of this like.
So
energy.
what are you spending into that? What are you activating?
So we will be activating density.
Excellent.
Let's see what density. Oh no, not density. Quantum attack.
All right, excellent. So go ahead and spend the points for quantum attack and make your close combat and might roll, please.
All right. Close combat and might. That is. Four successes.
Excellent. You draw back and you punch through the kind of the central box. As you do, you become almost like as it's occurring, you become aware of like a gravitic entanglement that happens between the energy that's passing through the box and your hand. Your perception shifts. The room grows massive. Until all you see around you is white. You feel the sensation of falling.
Crap, why can't I fly?
Would you like to try to activate a flight ability?
No. Oh. He's just gonna. I'll try to like time a density to see if that stops me from going flat on the ground. If assuming there is ground where I'm heading.
All right. You sort of flip around so that you're looking facing downward, and you see at first what looks like almost like a star field, and each of these stars seems to get exponentially bigger and bigger super quickly. Until you're above just a single one. You see kind of blasted rock and like almost like a desert with some cliff type terrain. And you slam into the ground. How much are you spending on your density?
I feel like this is a good time to really dig in. So we're going to spend 5 into density.
Excellent. So that will bring your durability scale up to 4, I believe. So you are absolutely You hit the ground and take no injury, and I will get back to you.
All right.
Meanwhile, in the year 2122, Joel, you are back in La Blazure. You've snuck back in the hopes that you can track down and expatriate Cherry. You've taken great precautions to do so. You've managed to acquire a vehicle that's shielded from the corruption, and you've managed to bribe a few guards that theoretically will look the other way for you on your way back through. As you're making your way through, you're listening. Perhaps it's broadcasting the video or not. It's up to you as you're driving, so it might be a little distracting. But there's a story being put out by OBC about this interview that was conducted with the War Gang. Talking about the great controversy and whether or not Rabib should get an award or be prosecuted for the actions of sneaking into the Blight Zone and conducting an interview with an aberrant. And they are playing some clips of it in the background. You can hear, and they're sort of, they'll play a 30-second clip of the interview, and then various pundits will argue back and forth about what the appropriate course of action is. As you're driving along, you see kind of a almost hazy mist off in the distance in the direction of where your rendezvous point is. Why don't you go ahead and give me we can go survival, we can go technology. What would you like to rely on to try to identify this mist?
Oh, he would have definitely set everything up as technologically sound as possible. That is his forte, and they do not want to stray from that.
Excellent.
Three successes.
Glorious. So as you're looking over there, it looks to you like there's some sort of almost like a corruption storm. Looks like it's kind of congealed almost in the sky above above where you were intending to rendezvous with Cherry.
Remembering his last encounter with the corruption, it will definitely cause them some hesitancy. They would subconsciously slow down a little bit. Like, they weren't going at breakneck speeds, but they would be going like from 65 to 55. Like, they let off the gas a little bit. And they wouldn't stop, but they're definitely going to attempt to scan it a little bit more when they get closer to see, like, is this something, and am I about to screw my own way out of getting back out with her?
Sure. Why don't you go ahead and give me, let's do for this one, an integrity roll, and let's base that off of whatever mental attribute you would like to lean on.
For the scan or for
determining sort of what's going on with the info for the scan. You have the information at your disposal. This is sort of a
okay.
recognizing what's going on, what you're seeing.
That is only a singular success.
Excellent. All you can really tell from these readings is that this doesn't appear to be a naturally occurring cloud of corruption. It's almost as if something is pulling or pulling it there. And about that time, as you kind of like round a piece of debris that's in the middle of the road, you can see, looks like about a half dozen of the subaberrant mutants sort of circled up. And they appear to be making some sort of repetitive hand motions. And in the center where they're circled up, you can see kind of a glowing sphere of energy.
Are these the crimson robed guys we ran into last time?
They are not. They seem to be a different faction of the subaberrant.
Different faction. Performing some kind of ritual. Not being very well versed in the occult, for lack of a better term.
Sure,
for
right.
lack of a better term.
I mean, you can make a culture check if you want.
Sure. And that's a botch. Yeah.
Excellent. You gain a momentum, so that's fortunate for you. So now there's 5 momentum. You're pretty sure this is like this is some sort of occultic practice that's used by some of the subaberrant mutants to manage the corruption. You think it might be safe to approach?
And this was near the proposed rendezvous point, right?
Yes, it's directly in between you and the rendezvous that you're expecting to make.
Whilst avoiding the cultists as best as possible, they will go ahead and attempt to proceed through the area underneath this cloud of corruption, because you said it was in the sky, right?
The cloud is in the sky, and then in the circle where they're gathered is kind of where this glowing ball of energy is. As you're sort of trying to make your way or just kind of scoot around the side of them, why don't you go ahead and give me a piloting roll, please? Pilot and whatever attribute you'd like to lean on.
Three successes.
Excellent. You make as wide of a berth as you can going past. As you do, you see that you distract 2 of these cultists. And they kind of look over at you. And you can hear vaguely, I mean, you're inside a vehicle that's ostensibly insulated against this radiation.
Yeah.
So you hear some sort of shouting that sounds vaguely panicked come from the group. And then that white glowing sphere just bursts outward, kind of flash blinding you. You're still rolling forward for just a moment. And I would ask you to so you have 3 successes on your piloting roll. I would like to ask you to divide those between avoiding a collision with the person in front of you and protecting your vehicle. So where would you like to spend those successes?
One towards avoiding the person, but their primary goal is to get Sherry and get out, and to do that they need a vehicle so that they don't get messed up.
All right, so you kind of hit the brake and turn hard to try to like go in where it'd be more of a side swipe as opposed to a direct hit. Dark matter, I need you to roll a resilience attribute of your choice, please.
That's okay, we'll do that.
Don't worry, you got this. It's just a car.
I rolled a 3, a 1, and a 1. What does that mean?
That
How am I
means that
dashing?
now you have 6 momentum in your pool. So your density was up due to your height and durability scale.
Right.
So you take 1 injury condition, and like fold the side of this vehicle, you just fold in the side of the vehicle to about the halfway point. The car stops, and there's like a person shaped like indent in the back.
Oh.
I'll get back to you two in a moment. Fabian,
So,
you have been. It's been a couple of weeks since your altercation with the Tyrant of the Skies.
that fiend.
You've grown accustomed to the new implant that you've had so that you can manage which eye you're using. And found your way into another job, a job of great interest. There's a artifact, again, sort of Central American in origin, that is rumored to grant prophecy to any who holds it. You did the requisite research, were able to find its location, make your way into the ruin where it is buried, and have now come to the ancient safe, effectively, in which this item is supposedly held. It's a giant stone carving. There are various sort of faces and symbols carved into the 4 pillars on the outside, and there doesn't appear to be any clear like line of a door.
Well, first thing I'd like to say is this companion book is pretty awesome. There's a lot of really fun stuff in here.
Yes,
So
there
much,
is,
in
and it's
fact.
currently fundraising on BackerKit.
So much, in fact, that I did decide to purchase something that'll be very useful right now.
Excellent.
So I picked up Skill of Thieves.
Oh,
'Cause that's a
please,
stick.
please do tell us what that does.
Yeah, trained on the mean streets. The talent knows every shifty trick in the book. She brings incredible skill to every job she takes on. System: when you make larceny-based rolls to infiltrate a location, steal an object, disguise yourself, or otherwise participate in criminal activity, add your highest facet and enhancement to the roll.
Excellent.
So, yeah, that's super fun.
And does that require the cost of an expenditure of?
Just as long as I'm stealing, I get highest facet. As long as I'm thieving appropriately.
Beautiful.
So, question about this job. So, like, because now Fabian's been in a bit of a moral conflict, right? He has like newfound sinister power that he can use to accomplish new things, but like, is he using them to his own benefit? Is he supposed to use them to help others? Like
Well,
the healing vision,
that's
like,
up to you. I mean,
Sure.
how are you wrestling with it? I know I would submit, and you do with this what you will. I would submit that Fabian might be interested in something that contains the power of prophecy, if for no other reason than because Fabian has a pretty severe axe to grind with the Tyrant of the Skies, and finding him is not exactly easy.
That's true. Okay.
And perhaps even at Babs's suggestion, though she has been unable to reach the spirits, she
You will not make mockery of the bold and bombastic bellicose volunteer. Keep her name out your mouth. Unless you show respect.
So perhaps at her urging,
Blind you with her Bonnie brilliance.
perhaps at Babs's urging, even you've taken up the quest for this prophetic device.
No, that makes sense because I'm not like a telluric scientist, so I just need to work with what I can work with.
Right, exactly.
All right. So I will you said it's a big stone brick, basically.
Right, yeah, there are four pillars on the outside of it. You don't see any obvious seams. You could make an enigmas check to
No.
try to see if you could sort it out. Or if you just want to lean into straight up larceny, you could try kind of attacking it from multiple directions and just pulling and pushing on things until something
Yeah, I'm
works.
going to I take my gloves off and I
Excellent.
look at this device and I say, you and I are going to get to know each other very, very well. This is going to be familiar, but trust that I mean you no harm. And I begin inspecting it
Wonderful.
closely.
All right. So do you want to then rely on the enigmas?
No, I would like to rely on my larceny if that's okay.
Okay, excellent. So
Uh,
and then larceny intellect.
I'll rely on touch more than sight here, as I am a now a scion of humanity. Um, my manual dexterity scale has been amplified. So I like to touch things.
Okay, excellent. Go for it. So that gives you and refresh my memory. Do you need to expend?
For sign of humanity, I do not believe. I think it's just constant.
Excellent. So you'll have a +1 scale on this roll. Um, Go ahead and give me.
I think it might just be for speed, but I was just saying like for effect. That's kind of
Oh, sure.
the
Okay.
approach it's taking.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's just +1 speed scale. It's not like +1 deck scale.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just I think it's speed.
Just speed scale. Okay.
Yeah, it's speed and durability is what I have. All right.
Gotcha. All right. Well, in that case, then, yeah, just a straight up larceny and dexterity roll, please.
I would love to. I do get my enhancement though.
You do.
I do. Yeah, this book is super fun though. Highly recommend it. There's some cool stuff in here. If you like to it's very fleshed out. So 7 successes with 4 tens. More. So it's 9 plus 1. Okay, 9.
Excellent. You start sort of crawling around the outside of the box, very ferret-like movements as you are testing the bricks and seeing what connects where. And you managed to figure out like a combination of taps. There's like a rhythmic tap to one of the faces that's carved into the pillars. That as you tap that code in, you clearly can see the doors start to, like the walls start to separate out, giving you room to enter. As soon as you do enter, you see a woman who appears to be wearing like a white, almost like turtleneck, like form-fitting white turtleneck, a burgundy vest, and a pair of tight black pants and like brown boots. Her long blonde hair pulled into a ponytail, and you're pretty sure like a sword on her back, sticking from like halfway in, halfway out of an oval, with her hands on this mask. The background behind the oval, you see like a desert blasted out area.
Okay, so just to recap, there's a woman half standing in and out of an oval
Yes.
and she's holding the MacGuffin.
Yes. The mask of prophecy that you've
Prophecy.
come to.
Right. And so she's got it, and is there someone on the other side like holding on to it, or
No, she's like appears to be pulling it, like she's grabbing it and stepping back in the portal, which is exactly what she does as you are stepping in.
Oh, well then I would definitely like to excuse me. And I will dive after it, and as a result her.
Excellent.
She's a woman of action, sword carrying and all. That'll make this interesting. Um, yes, I would like to. I I will dive after it and her and follow them. But my goal will be to uh, hopefully snatch it from her as I, kind of keep going past and through. If I may attempt to do so.
Sure. Why don't you go ahead and roll?
Well, there's a whole thing called Deft and Daring
Yes.
that is built just for this. I have to open that book though because I'm silly.
Sure.
It's an adventure, page 195. I think it's a close combat roll. Yeah. So it gives me access to the retrieve stunt. So I have to spend 2 successes to try to pull something off of them or my hand if it's unarmed. So basically it's like disarming, but with stuff.
Okay.
So I will say again, excuse me, and I will dive after and make the grab.
Excellent. Your difficulty is going to be 5.
Okay. If this counts as speed, then do with my scale what you will. Yeah, I'm grabbing with my hands.
You note as you're using your immense speed that she's matching you.
That's okay. Then definitely a woman of action. So I got 5.
Excellent. You grab a hold of the mask, and now, but you are unable to break it free from her grasp.
That's okay. Now she's got both of us. Hello.
She draws her sword, points it at the wall behind you, and a blast of energy fires from the sword.
I want that.
You feel her and the mask subsequently being thrown in the opposite direction rather violently. You may retain your grip if you so choose.
I will do so because I still don't have it. So
excellent. You fly through this portal. As you do, you kind of see her get thrown loose. She lets go of the mask and takes out and goes flying off in one direction. You go flying off in another, and as you sort of get your bearings and look around, you see what appears to be some sort of large car, like an armored truck almost, that has been folded almost in half, and like a dude's like hand sticking out of the top. He's like, and you're flying directly toward it.
I will say, incoming.
Excellent. Are you going to do anything to avoid smacking into it?
Well, I'm so to avoid smacking into it, I don't think I have anything that I have to be able to stand to take flight. Like I can't just do it.
Oh, you can't take flight while in flight?
I don't think so. Well, maybe. Like it's an athletic and dex roll, so I guess I could. All right. So I guess I will try to gliding squirrel my way toward a softer landing than head-on collision.
Please do not damage my truck anymore.
I will yell, "Clear the LZ!" as I come in kind of like a raccoon stance.
Excellent. You're able to do so. You're able to land as you so choose. Just as this, please explain what dark matter looks like as you crawl out from the car that just hit you.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have on my janitorial outfit, so my wipes and just like pushing down. Other than that, pretty unremarkable. Actually, no, he's probably just like glowing with like outer space light because he did just use his power. So there's that.
So like this dude in like a white uh, overalls with like this glowing field of stellar energy around his body comes crawling out of the hole. Joel, are you getting out of the vehicle or are you?
They still have a environmental suit from last time they were in here, so I imagine they're probably wearing that.
Sure.
So they would be willing to poke their head out, but all they would see is an environmental suit. You can't really see much through them, and be like, "What the fuck just happened?"
So dark matter, you clearly can tell that this is some sort of relatively advanced environmental containment suit. It's pretty smooth looking. Must be some top tier Novatech.
Okay.
Fabian, you're pretty sure an alien just stuck its head out of this car.
Are the cultists still here? Is there the circle of cultists nearby too?
No, not at all. You look
They're
around
all
and
gone?
and you just see sort of blasted, dried, cracked earth. You can see some like rocky formations in the distance, and like near the horizon almost, you can see like a mountain range and some clouds.
Okay, so just but I have the mask,
You do.
right? I look over my shoulder. Is the hole still there?
Give me a integrity check, please.
Oh, I don't have much of that at all.
Yeah.
I think I'm definitely lacking there. Hold on. Integrity? Yeah. What if I just don't have any?
So just roll like a mental attribute.
Sure. I guess cunning?
Sure, cunning will work.
Okay. All right. Good, because I don't have much of the others either. It's not, it's not his thing, okay?
I see what my job is going to be.
2.
So as you're looking around, you don't see it. You kind of get turned around a little bit. You don't seem to have your bearings. You don't see any object that clearly is the portal. And in fact, you're pretty sure with 2 successes that you've been thrown like a couple of miles.
So I will climb down off of, I guess, this vehicle, and I will look at
Does Fabian look obviously normal? Like
Yes.
obviously human?
yes, so Fabian is about he's about 6 foot. Looks kind of like um what's his name? Is it Clark Gable? He's got like the coiffed hair and like the pencil thin mustache. He looks very Gone with the Wind. He's wearing like
Okay.
a full black, like kind of skin tight bodysuit that looks, there's not it's not like armor, it's just kind of padded. Style would be like, I don't know, Victorian steampunk, like in that kind of
Okay,
era.
but unlike Dark Matter, who has glowy space
Yeah,
magic
it doesn't
going
look
on,
like a space
you just
janitor
look human with an eye patch.
with an eye patch. Yeah.
And it's holding this what looks like a mask made out of like
What?
some sort of like petrified wood or stone.
I will look at Dark Matter and I will say, excuse me, space janitor, is that your alien?
I I don't know
I'm
who
not an
this.
alien.
Oh my
But
God,
you
it's
need to get in the car.
in the what?
You need to get in the car.
That
That, and he points up to the big cloud of corruption, can kill you.
You point up in the sky, and there is no big cloud of corruption anymore.
What?
There's a very clear blue sky, and despite it being a daylight, apparently, you can see the glowing of stars, almost piercing through the bright daylight. And I would ask each of you to go ahead and give me either a science or a culture roll, whichever is your preference.
You are asking
The one that I
wrong
have
area.
dots in.
I will opt to be lost.
Excellent.
Considering I have 0 in both science and culture, I am also lost and just glad I did not get run over.
Excellent. Four
Four
successes.
successes.
Joel, as you look up, you realize that's no starfield you've ever seen.
Like it doesn't match the patterns of what stars should be there.
Right. You're certainly not in France anymore.
Did any of you see an action blonde come through here with a sword?
I haven't seen a sword, at least like if you're talking about an actual sword, in years. But get in the car.
Me-
Get in the car.
You know, I really wish you would ask nicer.
I am trying to protect you from this shit called corruption that may or may not still be in the area and can royally mutate your body.
Where,
Get in the car.
where am I? Where are
You're
we?
in France, I think.
Why don't you check your instruments there, Joel? Give me a technology check, please. Or you got 4 on your check earlier, right?
Yeah.
So
he's kind of in denial that they're not in France.
as they look over at the instruments, couple things occur to you. According to the instruments, there's very little ambient corruption. You can pick up just the slightest traces of it.
That's probably
Which-
just residual on the outside of the car.
Actually, there's a little bit more that seems to be actually emanating from dark matter, but even there, it's barely detectable. But if your readings are correct, all your GPS, there's nothing. There's no navigation. There's no
Apparently, we're nowhere.
feedback from that whatsoever. It's disconnected effectively.
When did we get into Courage the Cowardly Dog?
But it seems, according to these readings, that the immediate radar vicinity is no longer listed in kilometers. It's listed in microns.
In microns. What?
Is everything okay in there?
No, nothing is okay. This was not supposed to happen. It was not in the plan.
Was the plan to hit me? Because I'm gonna be honest, that kind of hurt.
You came out of nowhere. I was driving through the blight zone. There are these cultists. I was going to avoid them, but they came running at me. I think I hit one with my car. I don't know, blinding flash, and then suddenly we're tiny, I think.
Speak for yourself, young man.
My instruments are measuring shit in microns.
I don't know what that means. My name's Fabian. Do you have a
Joel.
name behind that helmet of yours?
I'm Joel.
Hi, Joel.
Demos. And I come off the car. Now that I'm got time to calm down a little bit.
So are you a space janitor?
I am not a space janitor. I was a janitor, and I do have a love of space.
It would look like it was coming off of you. That's why I was asking.
Oh, don't ignore that. That's fine.
Certainly. So we're small, Joel.
That is what my instruments are gathering here.
So you're some sort of learned person. You seem to be a technician of some kind. Engineer, maybe scientist.
Enthusiast. I actually work for the news. Well, a news station.
You're a reporter.
Of sorts.
Okay. Okay. Sure, that makes sense. But
Eh,
but you don't know where we are.
no, my GPS readouts have gone dark. The only thing that I know is that everything has gone from measuring in kilometers or miles for our American friends. Um, it's now in microns, which are very, very tiny, unless my brain is not working and I got a concussion from this hitting this. You don't look like an aberrant, but you kind of have powers like one.
I feel we're getting distracted from the fact that like I was hit by a car and instead of trying to figure out who I am. Let's figure out where we are. Let's focus back on that, the where we are thing.
I take solace in the fact that no matter where and when I manage to land, technobabble all sounds the same to me. So I feel right at home. I mean, it's awkward, and it doesn't feel right. How's the weather here?
It's warm, just dry-ish. Not quite like desert dry, but it is fairly dry. It's not very humid. And as you're sort of taking stock of the place, Fabian, you see at the rocky outcropping, probably 500 feet or so from where you're standing, you see a couple of cloaked figures moving around.
Well, perhaps they can tell us where we are. I point to the strangers.
Oh yeah.
And as Fabian points them out, Joel, you recognize those are in fact the cultists that you saw.
The cultists.
Yes.
When did I find myself in an 80s movie? Let's go talk to the cultists. Joel will.
I think like the 1880s. Like, did they have movies back then?
They did not. Yeah, movies are really new.
Yeah, super new. I don't.
Joel would, if the engine is still running, shut down everything, and they would take the helmet off of the environmental suit, but like it also still doubles as armor, and they is
Sure.
very squishy.
No, makes sense. Do you have any weapons you're carrying?
They do not have weapons, but they did have a fun new toy in the form of a drone or a bunch of drones in the new book. So I went ahead and used my wealth to snag one of those. So they do have like a professional drone, just a little a quadcopter that has some fun capabilities to it.
Are you planning on bringing that out right now, or not?
No, the only thing they would have on them weapons wise is their taser.
Excellent. Well, that alone. Dark matter. You recognize a taser. Fabian, looks like this spaceman produces a ray gun of some sort.
This tracks. So I feel a little out of place. But while we're walking is fine. I've never seen anything like that before, or that. So how smart are you?
This is all normal, with the exception of the one that looks and or it doesn't look, but has powers like an aberrant. He says, pointing at dark matter.
I'm feeling very attacked.
No, you're. I will maybe in the comic strips, but none of this. This all looks very well.
When you get about to the halfway
What is the
point,
date? He says, asking to Dark Matter and Fabian. What is the date?
Oh, it's April 14th, 1920.
it was 40.
40 something.
Or maybe you did get a concussion. It's not 19 anything. Like we're way past that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Did I get a concussion?
No,
what is the
no.
date?
I just told you.
No,
Joel?
you are. He's doing math in his head, like you can see the wheels turning, the cartoon smoke coming out of his ear. Um, Player to DM, about what year wise is Joel at?
It's 21-22 where you're at.
It's 21-22.
Hmm? You're
It's
kind of off too.
mm,
I missed the 2000s.
As
I mean, we're still in them technically, but
as you're all sort of having
yeah,
this
you
realization
missed a
while you're
play.
walking up, the cloaked figures and the rocky outcropping start shooting something or shouting something at you in French. Not shooting.
I understand French, so
They shout, "Surrender! Get on the ground, and toss aside your weapons."
that's a no. I hope you guys can fight because they're not friendly.
Oh, I mean, like,
Do I understand French with my connection to Sophia?
look, I'm sure there's been a
Um,
misunderstanding. I will begin speaking to them in French.
Unless you have like either
Do we all
Rosetta
ironically speak
Stone
French?
or
I only have things to make things go boom. I'm pretty
yeah,
sure.
it's
So yeah.
probably not. You probably just speak English, I would imagine.
All right.
So what were you saying back to them in French, Fabian?
I will say clearly there's been a misunderstanding. I don't know who you are or what you want. I'm simply trying to figure out where we are. So if you could just help me or us, it would be greatly appreciative. I will. I would like to endear myself to these people, to the best of my ability. Um,
Excellent. They're currently have an attitude of hostile at 2 to you.
I'm striking.
Okay, so
I'm also devilishly good looking.
you would need to so you want to shift their attitude down, or you want to just try to get them to concede without changing attitude, I guess.
I will accept. I will accept listening to reason. That's willing to negotiate is kind of what I'm going for.
Okay.
I'm sure that we can find a way to help each other without pointing guns or making anyone feel like they're being
They do not seem to have any weapons at the moment, at least not any that you can see.
That's not a good sign.
So your difficulty on this roll is going to be 3. And what would you like to rely on to try to get them to back down or calm down?
Oh, I am using presence and persuasion.
Excellent.
I'm being as genuine can be, even though I'm a skilled liar, because I have no intention of surrendering anything or giving any quarter. But they don't know
I'm
that.
also a skilled liar.
So yeah, I got 5.
Excellent.
I approach them slowly with my hands out. At this point, y'all would see the backpack as well. He's got kind of like a parcel on his back. Looks kind of out of place. Looks complicated origami folding and fabric and like metal tubing. But that's the only thing he's really like carrying. Any utility belt.
So at this point, they step out from sort of the outcropping where they were kind of half hiding, that they were using for cover, basically. And it becomes very clear to you that they are confused as well.
Look, we're all scared here. We don't know what's going on either. Why don't you come on down from there? We can talk.
They sort of slowly start making their way onto the same, onto the ground. As they do, off in the distance, towards the mountain range, You see some dust being kicked up, as if perhaps like some horses or a vehicle are coming this way.
Don't suppose you all know what that is?
Joel is already moving back to the car at this point.
I'm just thinking like French is a beautiful language. Wish I understood it.
I will approach, I guess, the closest one again, hands out, and I will extend a hand outward.
She reaches out and takes your hand, and as she reaches out, you see that her skin is completely covered in these various sort of boils and pustules at different sizes, all the way up her arm. And as you can as she closes in, you can see under the tattered robe she's wearing, her whole body is covered in these.
Where, I'm Fabian.
My name is Bridget.
Bridget, something is coming. Is there anywhere we could go?
This is not the place I'm used to. We are not in France.
Okay, so we're in agreement. We also were not in France. But we wish we were, don't we?
Joel, are you walking or running back to the vehicle?
They are walking back. They're not trying to draw attention to themselves particularly, but they also don't want to be out in the open. I did have a curiosity question. Wasn't the camp leader or one of the people in the camp in La Blazure Bridget, or am I thinking of Scott's Bird?
You might be thinking of Scott's.
Scott's horrible
Scott's
mutant
bird. Yes. Yep. Yeah, the mutant turkey. Yeah.
We all love Brigitte.
Was named Brigitte. Yes. Yeah. Dark matter. Are you standing your ground, going back to the vehicle with Joel, or engaging with this vehicle that's pulling up, or what's dark matter doing?
I'll probably engage with the vehicle because he's not sure what's going on, but he found like another person who is like also lost. So like the more people who are lost, maybe we'll be found together.
So are you going to start walking toward the vehicle that's driving up, or are you going to start walking towards Joel's vehicle?
Well, where was Fabian?
Fabian's still talking with the cultists by the rocky outcropping.
Yeah, and I'll turn over my shoulder and say, okay, so they're not from here either. They're lost and confused.
Okay, yeah. I'll stay with them because of like more people.
All right, Joel, you get back to the vehicle. The others are sort of bunched up still by the rocky outcropping. As the vehicle that's approaching comes into a close enough view that you can see kind of what's going on. If you'd imagine it, it looks not too dissimilar from your news van. It's an armored van-like structure, probably about twice the size of it. What strikes you as odd about it is rather than wheels, it has 4 sets of treads that seem to raise and lower as to pull it forward as it goes across the landscape.
Out of my friggin' depth.
It's definitely not something that would be common in tech in my time.
No, it's a little weird. It doesn't
It's a little weird.
doesn't look familiar to you in any way, shape, or form. You do notice it's got what appears to be some sort of turret on the top of it that you're assuming fires either bullets or some sort of. It doesn't look like biotech, so it could be hard tech lasers.
It looks like hard tech.
Yeah.
He will. Is the truck more approaching his vehicle, or
It's
the
definitely
group of
going more
people?
towards the group.
Okay. He will deploy his drone out the back of the van and try and scout the vehicle out a little better from a safe distance because he is squishy and does not wish to become meat.
Sure. You pull up as the vehicle's now. You reach the ability to do kind of like a sweep of it, as it's about 200 yards or so from
Mhm.
the group. There's just one windshield. Inside the windshield, you see two individuals. A woman dressed in like looks like purple boiled leather, like a form-fitting bodysuit, effectively, and she has like a serpent motif headgear on. And next to her is a man wearing like heavy brown robes.
Vaguely reminiscent of some of the road gangs that we ran into in La Blazure, or
No, the robes look to be very clean, very complete, like brand new. Effectively, they're in good repair,
okay,
and neither of them appear to have
still worrying,
any
but
open wounds or anything like that.
still worrying, but could be worse. He's just going to like start marking weak spots on the car.
Sure,
Um,
go ahead and make a technology roll and add whichever mental attribute you'd like to rely on for that, as the car starts to pull up closer to the assembled group.
that is a whopping 6 successes.
Excellent. So you can basically dole out 6 enhancement uh, in over the course of any one scene if you attack the vehicle. The vehicle pulls up, the door is open, and this man and woman step out.
Have style. I will give them that. Look, Bridget, you and the reporter know we are familiar with you. You're from the same place, right?
Yes. Yes, I recognize that news van. It is from the Off-World Broadcasting Company.
Well, I am definitely not, and I don't believe that Demos is either.
No, this is all new to me.
I'm not going to pretend to speak for you here. I don't know who these people are, what they want, but perhaps they're local.
I mean, the more information we can get, the better, I think.
The woman calls out, "State your name and business."
In English?
Yes.
Fabian Ortega, at your service, madam. I will approach gently a couple steps, again, arms out. Lovely to make your acquaintance.
Likewise, have you arrived recently?
Oh, I think we all just got here, and we're all falling in love with the place. Is this where are you from this place? You
We
know my name.
we are. She turns to the man in the robe. These may be the foretold.
Before who? Fabian, Teresa, Fabi.
The old man nods. Forgive my daughter Katrina. She is quick to assign omens and portents where none may exist.
You know, you never really know. Perhaps we are. Would that be a good thing?
Why, yes, we are desperately in need of, well, for lack of a better term, heroes.
Well, I don't know if we would know if we were, but there's only one way for us to find out, really. So why don't you help us figure out where we are, and we help you
Yes.
figure out if you're found them, if them are us. Depends on what you were foretold about me, really.
Well, why don't you gather your associates and we'll give you a ride to the castle and we'll have a discussion.
Castle, I understand. Future tank, not so much. Castle makes sense to me. Well, these people seem nice.
I think so. I haven't been to a castle in a while. I think I went to one at like a children's birthday party a couple decades back. Should be fun. So I'll walk over to Joel's broken tank of a car and be like, would you be willing to come to a castle? If for no other reason than they seem to know where we are, and no one else does.
Information is helpful. I will. I would like to, if possible, have them tow my van in for repairs. They seem to have some sort of working auto shop. If they're able to put together that monstrosity of a truck. But yeah, I'm willing to come with, I guess.
Uh, well, let's see if we can like make a deal. Talking to the Fabian, like they seem super nice and amenable. Oh, by the way, we might be the foretold heroes of legend. Something we didn't really figure that one out, but yeah, all right.
What? I'm a reporter.
And I'm a space janitor. Like it takes all kinds.
While those two are having their discussion, the old man walks over to Fabian and extends a hand. I am Marcus.
Again, Fabian, a pleasure. Castle, you say? You're monarchs of some kind?
No, well, I was once the vizier of the monarch until she fell to corruption.
More of that. Okay, I keep hearing about that going around.
Interesting.
I've also been told that I'm out of my time, as it were, which seems to be making a bit more sense considering this guy looks new and
Well, by our calendar, it is the 5,334th year of the Empire.
I will take your word for it.
Excellent. And you said the stars look different here.
Yeah, that's not. I don't know what the hell that is. It looks kind of like a duck.
Katrina says, "I told you, Father, they were the foretold." He says, "Then let me be the first to humbly welcome you to the realm of Calandrix."
Al Andrix. At least we have a name now.
You have others injured. Is your conveyance damaged?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that thing. In turning to Bridget, I'll try to be kind of I'll try to be as polite as possible. I don't know. Just keep your hood up for now.
She nods.
But we're going to go with them. You're welcome to come with us.
Katrina opens the back of the vehicle, and you see there's bench seating back there. You also see kind of like in addition to the turret that has the guns on it, you see another almost like there's a seat, and then there's
Like
what
a
appears to be like a
rear-mounted
ray
turret?
gun attached to the seat near the back.
Am I the only one who's picturing like Warhammer 40K orc technology? I don't know why, but this is the kind of stuff I would imagine orcs do.
They turn the vehicle around so that device is pointed at the car. And the older man signals to Fabian and the cultists that they may get in the back and starts waving over towards Deimos and Joel.
Yeah, I'll kind of skip on over.
Joel will recall his drone back to the van, and at least for now, he's still wearing the environmental suit. He does not know what the hell is going on.
For sure.
But
Go ahead, Louise.
I was going to say they'll approach once they've tucked away the drone in its little box.
The old man says, "Your vehicle is damaged."
Yeah, he weighs a lot.
What they mean is they hit me with their car.
But if you were anyone else, You probably would have bounced off and splattered on the roadside.
Maybe you just bought a bad car.
There's no sense in debating it now. The damage is done. But if you'd like, I can have Katrina use our tractor beam and bring you with us to the castle.
That would be most welcome. I do need to get it repaired. I have an appointment I need to attempt to make.
Very well. She sits down in the seat on this turret and hits buttons, and you see like a green glowing light come out and grab a hold of the car and start towing it behind the vehicle. They escort the rest of you into the back of the vehicle and take off driving. As Marcus is operating the vehicle, he's speaking to you all over his shoulder. I imagine you must have questions.
Yeah, where the hell are we?
Calendrix.
Yes, the realm of Calandrix. This was once a peaceful and prosperous kingdom. The Calandrites, the people who live here, lived in great harmony and had achieved wonders. And then the wicked Queen Gardendale ascended to the throne and became corrupted by power. Her abuses have ravaged the land, slaughtered many people, destroyed our environment. I am the humble servant of a hero who would like to ascend to that throne and set things right. But we lack the might to challenge the queen and her minions. However, prophecy has foretold
I'm a big fan of liberation.
that visitors would come from beyond the sky wall to help us.
I feel like I just got pulled into one of those Nepalese comics.
I am not familiar with
It's I'm just trying to reconcile everything in my mind, despite being despite considering myself relatively intelligent. That also makes it hard to accept change.
I imagine it is quite fantastical. Our prophecies had said that those who arrived would come from far lands and would find our home as fantastic as we find them.
That's one way to put it for sure. Look, I want to help you, but I need to also know that you'll do what you can to help me get back to where I belong or where I'm from.
Oh, I'm certain that once Queen Gardendale's forces have been eradicated, Charhusk can use the powers of the throne to return you across the skywall.
Charhusk is this hero that you work
Yes.
for?
Tell me about Charhusk, if you would.
He is a grand hero. He was born of the Calandrite people during the war, imbued with might unknown amongst mortals. The queen was jealous of his power and mutilated him.
Okay, I can see where the just coming from.
I mean, that sounds like a grudge for sure.
Just a small one.
But you will meet him soon. As you pull forward, you see like some dust clouds sort of part, and you can see the mountains are much closer. Atop one of the mountains, you see what appears to be a castle largely constructed in the shape of like, if you'd imagine like a steer's head.
I don't know what I was expecting. It was not this.
Yeah, for the rest of
Joel
the
pulls
ride,
out their cell phone and snaps a picture.
Excellent.
Like they have begun to document. They are a reporter after all. They need proof. um,
for the
Go
rest
ahead.
of the ride, Fabian goes out of his way to remark on and kind of fawn over the craftsmanship of Katrina's snake head.
Excellent. She says, yes, it was.
What kind of serpent is that?
Uh,
Oh my goodness.
it's a calendrite spitting cobra. My mother wrestled this one to death and preserved its head as a gift for my rite of passage.
So that's real,
Yes,
as in was once alive.
yes.
Amazing. Huge, even. Wrestled it, you say?
Yes, she was a mighty warrior.
Oh, was.
Yes, she was slain by Queen Gardendale's forces.
She just keeps racking him up, doesn't she? Well, I
So,
can't promise that we can change things here, but you'll have my help for as long as I'm here.
She nods and says, thank you. Did you have a question, Dark Matter, or a thing you wanted to say?
so I assume like I'm listening to all the bodies that this queen has racked up. And so I'm like, this is because at first I was like, this is like we're trying to save the people and we kind of have a little grudge, but now it's like, are we just here to like do violence? Like, is that what it is? It's not about the people, that's a side effect. We just want like, is that the way direction we're going now?
We don't necessarily have to do a violence.
Well, I didn't think we did, but like
We
there's
can always, I can build something to trap her in a different dimension.
like is that okay? Like is that or like do we not fulfill the fantasy unless there is like violence done? Or just like does removing the queen, does that satisfy the fantasy
Are
or
you-
the prophecy?
Are you asking them this, or are you just?
I think that's where he is, because he's not a violent person, though.
But this
Oh.
queen was very violent.
It is a very easy pitfall for him to fall into.
Marcus says, Queen Gardendale's power is vast. I fear that there's no prison that would hold her, even one of a different dimension. Furthermore, she herself is not alone. She has a group of her foot soldiers who also command great power, led by a general known as Glory Goldmane.
Second question. We have a space janitor, a reporter, and a pirate?
we do make for some odd bedfellows.
I have
And
never stolen anything from another ship or a ship.
not that you stole something, but you have like a really cool eye patch, and I'm like kind of jealous. Like it's pretty cool on it. But if we're facing off someone who can like escape dimension, like I don't think I don't think I am a chosen one, because from what I can do and from what I've heard about this queen, I got.
Well, I mean, if we're stuck here, we're gonna have to figure something out.
I mean, yeah, I want to help you out, but like maybe I can make you some coffee or whatever we need to be done. I'm willing to do. But
I'm gonna
Some
put
coffee would be nice.
a gentle
but-
hand on Demos's shoulder. I'll say, one, I really enjoy coffee. Two, understand
I
the
like
last
you
encounter
already.
I had was with not just a man, but his floating sky city and his flying soldiers. And we were but myself, a scientist, an amazing pilot,
Yeah.
bombastic in her own nature,
Yeah.
and the greatest chef. And we thwarted his plans to take over another flying city. So, Demos, I need you to be stalwart.
And you'll see like Demos is like responding to the confidence, like, yeah.
I
And maybe a
mean,
couple twinkles in the background, but then she'll shut that down.
I definitely don't have a repertoire as great as that. The most I can boast is surviving some Mad Max-esque motorcycle gangs and enticing a aberrant into destroying things for me.
It's not about
Um,
celebrating the nature or the size of your victories. It's about understanding that you are a capable, helmeted person.
he doesn't have the helmet on anymore.
Oh, okay.
He's got
You are a capable reporter and a survivor. You're going to make it through this. You're going to have plenty of stories to tell people. Make
With-
sure you spell my name right.
With that,
Ortega.
as you're approaching the castle, the mouth of this ram's head kind of opens, and you pull into what appears to be some sort of subterranean garage. You see several vehicles like the one that you're in, probably about a half dozen of those. You see about 25 what appear to be, well, to Joel and Dimos, they would look like jet skis, but with wings on them. Fabian, they might remind you of something that you would have seen.
I have got to get one of those. I think about my glider and I'm like, version 2. You're what I need.
I'm better at flying drones than I am at flying that, but I mean, I suppose I could give it a shot.
As they park, they both hop out, and Marcus says, Katrina will see to your needs and see to it that you're prepared for dinner. I will go inform Charhusk of our arrival.
And Phineas, I really hope that the food is better than the environment because the blasted terrain was not promising. Who knows where they get their
Oh,
resource
this was lovely compared to where I was.
Oh, I'm then
Katrina says, right this way.
I'm glad you're here.
And starts leading you all up a spiral staircase into a hallway of the castle. She does start interacting with the
Now that I'm closer to them, do I recognize their robes, or would I be able to put them together with one of the cults of La Blazure?
Absolutely not. They absolutely do not look familiar at all. I'm sorry, the actual cultists.
Yeah, the actual cultists.
They look like they might belong to kind of one of the smaller ragtag
smaller ones?
gangs. Yeah.
Okay.
Nobody of any. They don't have any markings of any sort of import you can perceive. But you notice Katrina starts speaking to them, and as she does, it's clear to all of you that she's speaking your native language, but they also seem to be able to respond to her normally. And she offers them medical care for their leprosy. They sort of chuckle and say, "I don't think you can treat what we have." She says, "Well, we do have fine healers. Your quarters are in this hall. You may prepare yourselves. Once you're done, one of our automatons will lead you to the dining hall." And you see at the end of the hallway, there are a pair of what look like metal skeletons, each holding a spear and a shield. Their eyes glowing with green energy.
Terminators without the feature weapons.
She says, "If there's nothing else, I'll see you at dinner."
Can I get some clothes that are not janitor clothes? These are kind of dirty.
Yes, there should be clothing in each of your
Yeah.
in each of your quarters. You should find an array of fashions in various sizes.
Thank you. Your hospitality is without par.
It's the least we can do for the heroes of Calandrix. She sort of,
Potentially, right? Potential. We have potential.
Yeah, we can.
Potential's there. Worst case scenario is we try and fail, and then you know that we're not them.
she looks you in the eyes and says, "I believe in you."
Oh, trust me, I
At
believe in
least
you.
somebody does.
I feel like I've seen this movie before.
But that means a lot.
I'll look forward to dining with you. And she saunters away.
I look back the other two. Violence, you say.
Right.
So we could die.
It sounds like we don't have either we succeed or we die.
Well, it sounds like they're going to anyway, because it seems that this queen is otherwise unmatched, right?
Yeah, yeah. I've done a few things in my time, but nothing at this scale.
This dinner better be amazing.
Right.
I've seen some crazy shit that can be done. Hopefully, I'll be able to use that knowledge effectively.
Mhm.
Speaking of knowledge to use effectively, on the off chance we make it back, you're familiar with France, which means you're at least from a place that is somewhat like where I am in the future.
Mhm.
I do some quick math in my head.
Roughly 300 years, 200 and a handful of change.
Huh. What do you know about what happens?
Bad things. It's
I
not
mean, like, what do you
pretty.
know?
What do you know?
I'll let you look through the history books I have on my mini comp later.
That sounds like an awful lot of reading.
Inside the rooms, you find an array of clothing. A lot of it, you know, tight shirts, vests, breeches. Kind of, if you'd imagine, sort of a Renaissance barbarian aesthetic, almost.
Ooh.
I like it.
Are you all changing into local clothing before going to dinner?
Oh yeah, I make this look great. Like at this point, I would have spent some time observing any of the other people I saw hairstyles. I will accommodate myself accordingly so I can blend.
Excellent. Um,
Joel is still wearing his environmental suit.
that's fair.
Does anyone here have a better mustache than me? That's all I want to know.
No, you don't see
No.
any better mustaches. And is Dark Matter also dressing in the local costume?
Dark Matter is dressing the local custom. I'm probably going to pop some braids in his hair because he did not bring his pick, so we just gotta keep it solid for a little bit.
Beautiful. Once you've changed, you see the others are also, the cultists are also dressed in finery, and it becomes clear to you as they're exiting their room just the extent to which that they are
That
afflicted.
they're corrupted.
Yeah, seems to be pretty severely, at least on the surface.
Joel subconsciously scratches at his side where he still has the pock marks of corruption.
And the skeletal automatons escort you to the dining hall. When you arrive at the dining hall, you see there's a massive dining table set out, a feast laid out upon it. At the head of the table, on the right and the left, are Katrina and Marcus. And at the head of the table, you see a man probably about 6'6", with green skin, highly developed muscles, just ripped everywhere, wearing effectively a bandolier that's covered in various different pouches of different sizes, a loincloth that appears to be made from the fur of some sort of beast, and a hood. And underneath his hood, you can see it appears as though the flesh of his face has been seared completely off. It's just mangled, burnt scar tissue, almost like a Freddy Krueger type of look to him. And he says,
Well,
Greetings. Thank you for joining us. Please be seated. I am Charhusk, and we shall dine and discuss our plans.
Of course.
And that's where we'll wrap things up for this session. Any
I
questions,
feel
comments,
like-
complaints, or
I was
concerns?
not expecting that voice at all.
There were like moments adding up to it. And I was like, Travis wouldn't do this to us. That's not what God. Yeah, okay. I have questions, but they can wait. This is
Excellent. Any so let's real quick, let's do experience for everyone. Did anyone complete any of their aspirations this session?
no.
Yeah, I jumped through a portal.
Excellent. You may take a point. Joel, any short terms?
Since we didn't get into actual combat, I'm going to say no.
Excellent. Dark matter, any short term aspirations?
No short terms.
All right. You did not spend available momentum, but you did reach a story milestone. You made your way to Calandrix and have met with, begun your meeting with Charhusk.
So, Travis, do you appreciate my poker face?
I did appreciate your poker face. I'm happy to field any questions you might have. Also, any feedback on the things that you've discovered from the player's guide so far that you've used. I know, Alex, you said you had used a little bit of stuff from in there.
Yeah, I picked up that thieves, skill of thieves. We all like a little enhancement every now and then.
Mhm.
Comes in handy.
Yeah.
I just think it would be neat to be able to customize the drones a little bit once you get into the ones that cost a bit more. Like the professional and the military drones, I could see them having different loadouts. The consumer and the wired make sense as being pretty bare bones, but once you get into the point where you're paying 3 dots of wealth for a thing,
Well, I believe you might find some additional customizations and tags in that chapter as well as you dig through it. So that is us for this week. I once again would like to thank you all so much for being here, for joining me to tell this story. I'd like to thank the audience at home, whether you're watching live or in Memorex, for supporting. Please, if you've not yet done so, I've gone ahead and thrown the link to the backer kit in the chat. Reminder, that's everybody got 2 XP and Lecco you get 3. And before we head out, one last time, please tell us who you are, what you do, who you're playing, your pronouns, their pronouns, anything you'd like to promote. And let's start it off with James.
I am James. I was playing the wonderful Joel. I don't really have a whole heck of a lot to promote except this Backer Kick book because it's really fun. It has actual shark repellent in it, which I find very humorous.
That is pretty awesome.
Then that's about it.
Excellent. Next up, Dark Matter, your pertinence, please.
Hi, so I am Chaz playing Demos Dark Matter Messier. Both him, Dark Matter, my goal was to come in here and be like a hero, because I never play a hero. You have not set me up for success on this.
Don't worry, Joel is very good at keeping people on the right path. Like unless you do something to piss him off, like destroying his car,
or just happen to blow up a building where cars are like anything could happen. But yeah, that's where we are. We're still on the path, but like it is. There are many detours that can be taken before we get to the end.
There are many detours that could be taken, but I appreciate you going on the journey. And last but not least, that leaves us with Fabian. Please, your pertinence.
Yeah, I'm Lecco Rodriguez, personal trainer and weight loss coach. Free consultations are available on the website at teamlecco.com. I've been playing the painfully and obliviously optimistic Fabian the Ferret Ortega, who now is apparently a cross-dimensional potential hero, potentially foretold patent pending. He hems all around. And yeah, I could definitely. I'm reading this whole player's guide thing is definitely like, if there were holes to be patched in all of the Trinity stuff, it just kind of like spills into every kind of arena, and just kind of fills a lot of the space there. So I would definitely say pick it up. Give them your money. I don't get any of it, but you should give it to them anyway.
All true. And I would want to remind you there's 12 days left as of right now. Project ends April 20th at 11 a.m. Pacific. The base funding has been achieved, and now we're into stretch goals. So please, if you've not yet done so, head over, back it. If you have backed it, tell your friends about it. Share the link, spread the love. We will be back here with this group, perhaps plus one or two, next Saturday at the same bat time, same bat channel. I will also be back here and simulcast on Back Your Kit Tuesday at noon Eastern for our companion show, which is another group of folks who have appeared in previous streams. And that one is entitled Divergence. So while this show is dealing with the microverse, the other show will be dealing a little bit more with alternate realities. So looking forward to seeing how all that shakes out. Until then, I'm Travis, pronouns he, they, when I'm not running games and writing them. And please take care of yourselves and each other. Make sure you get your shots, wash your hands, all that fun stuff. And we'll see you again real soon.
For the glory of Calandrix.
For the glory of Kalimba.